Iran agrees to set up Strait of Hormuz telephone hotline to prevent incidents.
Forest fire in Nghệ An brought under control.
DNA data brings hope of reunion to many families of fallen soldiers.
Hello everyone, you are watching today's news on TV channel. My name is Đăng. Let's get started. Iran's chief negotiator said Tehran has agreed to establish a Strait of Hormuz telephone hotline to quickly handle incidents and prevent the risk of conflict.
Iran's chief negotiator said the new mechanism is being built to support the resolution of issues arising during the passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz. According to Ghalibaf, the parties have agreed to establish a communication center to handle incidents or disputes that may occur within 30 days. This hotline does not replace the current licensing procedures for ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, but only aims to create a mechanism for exchanging information, clarifying arising issues, and supporting the quick handling of incidents. Ghalibaf emphasized that Iran will continue to abide by the regulations of international law in managing maritime activities in the Strait of Hormuz. However, he asserted that the operation of this strategic sea route would never return to what it was before the war.
North Korean state media reported on June 23rd that leader Kim Jong-un vowed to beef up North Korea's defense capabilities, citing military modernization efforts by South Korea and the United States pushing the region to the brink of a nuclear war.
The speech was delivered as Kim presided over a three-day meeting of the Workers' Party of Korea. Kim, in his concluding speech, reaffirmed the steadfast policy stand of our party and state to beef up the national defense capabilities faster. The North Korean leader stated that the U.S. and the ROK are pushing forward with the ROK's possession of a nuclear submarine while getting ever more undisguised in their moves towards the reinforcement and modernization of armed forces in the region. In the face of such developments, Kim affirmed that it was the steadfast stand of the North to further expand and strengthen the powerful and absolutely reliable deterrent for self-defense.
After many efforts by 4 a.m. on June 23rd, authorities had brought the forest fire in Truyen and Vinh communes under control by creating fire breaks.
On June 21st, a fire suddenly broke out in the vegetation area on the hill in Hamlet 3, Truyen commune. After many unsuccessful attempts to contain and extinguish the fire throughout the night of June 21st, the Nghệ An Provincial People's Committee mobilized additional forces on the morning of June 22nd. However, due to the prolonged hot weather and strong winds, the fire was difficult to control. From noon on June 22nd, firefighting efforts were halted. Forces were mobilized to create fire breaks to prevent the forest fire from spreading to Vinh commune. Given the complex situation and the rapid spread of the fire, the leaders of Nghệ An province requested the implementation of a plan to move the fire break 500 meters away from the fire, accepting the loss of some additional forest area to create a remote containment point. By 4 a.m. on June 23rd, the forest fires in Truyen and Vinh communes were completely extinguished.
Coming up next are some daily news.
On the morning of June 23rd, the Executive Committee of the Nghệ An Provincial Party Committee held its sixth expanded meeting to consider, comment on, and decide on a number of important issues within its authority. The conference was divided into 4 groups to focus on discussing and contributing ideas on 9 topics belonging to 4 key areas. Delegates comprehensively analyzed and evaluated the results achieved in the first 6 months of the year, clearly identifying shortcomings, limitations, and difficulties affecting the quality and progress of achieving the goals and targets for 2026. Based on this, they proposed tasks and solutions for the last 6 months of the year, focusing on key priorities, breakthroughs, and clear responsibilities, ensuring the highest possible achievement of the set goals. In the afternoon, the conference continued to discuss, receive, and explain opinions, and voted to approve the resolution of the 6th Expanded Conference of the Provincial Party Committee.
The People's Committee of Nghệ An Province has just issued a plan to implement the project on expanding the Southeast Economic Zone. In accordance with the Prime Minister's decision, the goal is to develop the Southeast Economic Zone into a comprehensive, multi-sectoral, multifunctional economic zone, while clearly defining the tasks, progress, and responsibilities of each agency and unit in the implementation process. According to the plan, the Management Board of the Southeast Economic Zone will preside over the review of planning, the development of general planning and sub-area planning, prioritizing the development of industrial parks, seaports, logistics, urban service areas, and social housing. The province will also promote investment attraction in high-tech industries, electronics, automobiles, logistics, and tourism.
In the first 6 months of this year, over 66,300 Vietnamese workers were sent abroad, reaching 59.2% of the annual plan, a decrease of 8,380 workers compared to the same period last year. Although the total number of workers sent abroad in the first 6 months decreased compared to the same period last year, traditional markets maintained their attractiveness and stability. Japan continued to be the market receiving the most Vietnamese workers with nearly 28,500 people, followed by Taiwan with over 28,200 people.
In Nghe An, a 500-day and 9 campaigns to search, gather, and identify martyrs' remains is being urgently deployed. The campaign aims to identify over 2,500 martyrs' graves that currently lack complete information across 32 cemeteries in the province.
Nam Dan Martyrs Cemetery, Van An Commune, is currently the resting place of more than 800 fallen soldiers. Among them, 107 graves remain unidentified. This is the third cemetery in Nghệ An to collect biological samples for DNA testing during this 500-day campaign. 12 officials and medical staff have been mobilized to carry out this task. The work requires absolute accuracy at every stage, from locating the graves, collecting samples, recording information, to sealing and preserving the remains. Each operation was carried out according to strict procedures to ensure sample quality and avoid any risk of error.
Tối đa và tối thiểu là phải nắm răng để kiểm tra là đủ chân. Nếu như không còn chân này thì cũng phải lấy để
The sampling process requires absolute accuracy. We must strictly implement measures to prevent any mix-ups and ensure proper preservation of biological samples for DNA testing.
To ensure the smooth progress of sample collection, the local authorities proactively coordinated with relevant agencies, preparing all necessary conditions regarding the site, documentation, and supporting personnel. This close coordination contributed to the safe and proper execution of the task, according to the established procedures and schedule.
Xã cũng đã phối hợp với ban chỉ đạo 515 cùng với ban chỉ huy quân sự xã.
The local coordination has been excellent. We have created the best possible conditions for the task force to carry out their mission. Following this review, we hope that the martyrs' families will finally find their loved ones.
Along with biological sampling, the entire process is strictly digitized. From the preparation for exhumation and sampling to restoring the graves to their original state. Every step is documented with photographs and updated into the database. This digitization ensures accuracy and transparency, creating favorable conditions for cross-referencing, verifying, and retrieving information during the subsequent DNA testing process.
Bước đầu thì cũng có nhiều cái khó khăn liên quan đến chuẩn bị cơ sở vật chất, phương thức, cách thức, quy trình làm việc.
Initially, we faced many difficulties regarding facilities, methods, working styles, and procedures. However, after some time, our team overcame these challenges. We fully prepared the infrastructure, organized training sessions, developed plans, and established teams to deploy the campaign simultaneously.
Every DNA sample collected today represents another opportunity to fulfill unfinished reunions. The journey to restore names to the martyrs still faces many challenges ahead. However, with the active involvement of functional forces and advancements in science, the hope of bringing them back to their rightful names, homelands, and the embrace of their loved ones is drawing closer than ever.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.